Hello and welcome to round one with Legacy Belcher. We have won the die roll, good sign. Our opponent's screen name implies they're playing green and white cards, great sign. And our hand has action. Uh, this looks pretty good. I'm just thinking through what we're doing here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So this looks like an Empty the Warrens hand. The question here is, so this Burning Wish isn't going to do anything. Chrome Moxing it away sounds perfect. Okay. So, oh my gosh, that's so many clicks. The goal here is to try to resolve this Seething Song without revealing that there's an Empty the Warrens coming. I think that there was potentially the other line I could have taken involved granting first and then showing the song. But I think that the gist here is that I needed to get the extra storm on empty. I needed to get the sixth. Uh, eh, I needed to get the sixth goblin. I could have just not cast the Seething Song. I guess I could have just done this for 10 with no Seething Song at low risk. But I think that the bonus two are pretty important. Could be wrong on that. And yeah, maybe Song was greedy there. Like I could have just gone Petal, Mox, Petal, Mox, Grant. I did count right. Okay, no. I was off by one on my. Uh, no, I needed to get to 10 here. Just 8 wasn't enough. So Petal, Mox, Grant, Empty is only 8 goblins, and that's not close to enough. 10 is like a significant upgrade from 8 for a lot of reasons. You kill other combo decks on your third turn. Um, yeah, that's like a big one, especially against Show and Tell. And you like 8 just isn't enough. Cool. Goblins. So, I saw a flooded strand. I'm going to make an assumption. I'm going to make an educated guess. I'm going to. Old art Brandon Wish, clearly better than new art. Manamorphose off the team. Lion's Eye Diamond, you're off the team. And then Seething Song. So we boarded out basically like a bit of everything. You can't board out starter mana. That's a like really just non-starter. Unless you play the fourth Chrome Mox, you can, in theory, board out that. You might be able to board out one, but I'm not huge on that. Um, so I board out one of each of the clunkier rituals, even though they add more mana, whatever. And then a Cycler, the War Cycler, and a piece of action. Because you're like about half a piece of action above where you need to be. Like the deck would prefer to play 11 to 10, but you don't have to have all 11. I also now have access to cool Burning Wish loops if I just make a bunch of mana. So, this hand has no action. It's a Snap Mulligan. This hand has no action, but it has a Scry. I think a 5's better still. This hand has no action, but I can dig for it, I guess. It's possible that I was supposed to leave a land grant on top. So I could cast Tinderwall, but I'm struggling to see. Yeah, I guess gotta do this here. Okay, so we're playing versus some Omni derivative. So we've got an Intuition, a Fluster, a Show, Strand, Delta, Tundra. That's not a cannon, but this does not feel like a game that I'm going to be winning via empty tokens just based on the show and tells my opponent has. And therefore, I'm trying to put the Tinderwall into play so I can untap with the most mana on my next turn. Because my Chrome Mox untaps and effectively adds a mana there. Thoughtseize. Okay, well, I've got nothing. It's the correct pick out of my opponent. Basically, one turn until I'm dead. No need to expose that to my opponent knowing things. There's actually like a legitimate argument that the show and tell deck is afraid of casting their show and tell because if I just put Belcher onto the battlefield, I win the game. Um, that is one sick upside of this deck. Okay, well, you can have that one. Pretty sure I'm dead. Yeah, that's about. I'm good. I don't need to see more. So, I still like Pyroblast over Xantids here to just get into that fight. Though thinking about it more, I think I do want the ritual that adds 2. Or a Lion's Eye. I think I'd rather have Lion's Eye here. Just because of the anti-show and tell properties of Lion's Eye. Um, being that you, like, if you have an LED in play, that's what you activate your show and tell Belcher with. See, this is a hand that's like, what are you supposed to do? Specifically talking about the Gataxian Probe issue. There is already a dead card in it in the second land grant, so I'm going to ship this. This hand looks decent, but not great. That, however, makes it very good. I'm not huge in showing off my hand just yet. I would like to have some flexibility with this Pyroblast to do stuff first. And I'm playing the Lotus Petal because I would like to be able to potentially counter something lethal here. That's loosely lethal. Maybe I was supposed to land grant last turn, and I can position if I draw another mana source that's cheap. Okay, what do we got? We've got Mystic, Intuition, 2 Gristle, Fluster, Brainstorm. Okay. So the Fluster's kind of obnoxious here. Trying to figure out what my line around Flusterstorm is, if I have one. 1, 2, 3. Well, so I can actually get to a point where I splice Desperates, but that doesn't really get me anywhere. See, Flusterstorm's an issue. That's specifically a card I'd rather have Xantid versus than Pyro. Getting slightly punished for that in this specific matchup, that they have Fluster instead of Force as their card. Hmm. I think the plan here might actually just be to run out the Burning Wish. See if it sticks. I guess then I'll get Intuition for Thoughtseizes. But it's not horrific. I do need to... I probably want to get... I don't want to get Infernal. Don't really want to get Empty. I guess Empty's not the end of the world if I get that. Cool. So I said I lost the least amount of resources to this Flusterstorm possible, I think. I lost an Elvish Spirit Guide and a Burning Wish. Okay. Now that that's settled, let's keep going. Okay. I think that this is the spot where I just kind of have to do it. It doesn't get any better than this. Yeah, that is absolutely not allowed. None of that today. My opponent's deck is weird. It's possible they're just like a show and tell deck that has a sideboard package of normal magic threats. Sure. This still ended fine for us. We can still, if we draw a, what's the best draw possible? Not a Chrome Mox. Chrome Mox is actually quite bad. 3, there's no right. So we know our, well, we don't know anything about our opponent's hand because they've brainstormed twice since then, but. So they take my Seething Song and my Belcher. This is bad. So just looking at the cards, it's likely, the information I didn't have is there probably some weird Entomb Lingering Souls deck that happens to have. We didn't see Show and Tell's game once. They probably actually just have like sideboard Show and Tells to go with like a Gristlebrand Reanimate Entomb package. or they're like a very aggressive combo version of Show and Tell that just happens to be able to board into Snapcasters. Didn't my opponent know my hand from the land grant? Snapcaster should probably take Belcher. Now we've got some hope and prayer off the top of our deck to get there, but we can still do it. Yeah, last turn we traded 2 Lotus Petal, and yeah, it was like not the best trade in the world, but these are like the spots where Chrome Mox is actually good. There's no need to cast it yet. It would have been good a few turns ago, because you get to like repeatedly run into their counter spells and go for it and try and kill them. So we're currently racing Batterskull, which kills Sword of Fire and Ice. That probably kills like a hit or two before Batterskull, just because it's so easy to. Well, second Chrome Mox is just atrocious. It's easy to have my opponent draw into some kind of thing, like a counter or whatever. So this is the natural draw 7. Maybe my opponent's just Stoneblade? I really have no idea. I'm just really trying to figure out what their base configuration is. It doesn't actually matter to me, because at this point their deck is their deck. I don't really have a reason to put anything onto the battlefield. Okay, I'm very likely dead. My opponent has 2 shots at a Force of Will, even if I hit, and then they get to attack. Not dead to do that. Okay, Gristlebrand, Flusterstorm. I think that's enough. Okay. We were defeated by that deck. Unfortunately, I'm trying to think if there was anything I could have done at some spot. It's possible I should have gotten more aggressive and tried to just punch through before Brainstorm or Flusterstorm was online, but I guess I didn't. Like, with the Pyroblast in my hand set up on turn 1. I felt like there was a chance that me waiting was better to like set up Pyroblast. But I guess I saw Flusterstorm before, so it's possible I should have just known to play around that or boarded Xantatorm for it. That may have been the mistake that cost me the match.